Our country has a lot of tradition in different cultures which practices different tradition and beliefs that came from in our ancestors. The story wedding then shows tradition and beliefs of the Ifugao tribe. Also, the story showed the way of life and cultures of Ifugao. One of their tradition is that a man should have a child, but if after the 7 harvests and there is no child, they will separate and find another woman that can give him a child. This paper aims to criticize through the use of feminist criticism on how the culture determines the gender issues, and how women are socially and politically oppressed by patriarchy.
Human studies see culture not as something to be against, but instead as an entire lifestyle. Something individual as of now have very much like green blood. Arnold thinks about that trouble in characterizing society. Truth to be told, it is, as per him, impressive better to clarify what not culture is for. Arnold something contrary to culture is doing as one. Prefer this term for people who carry on of personal responsibility without respect for everyone and benefits as right on time as 1949 T.S. Eliot, who succeeded Arnold, reclassified the last meaning of culture. That's all.
Hi everyone, I'm Redillas, and after reading the story, the criticism that I found related in the wedding dance is the feminist criticism, because the word feminist or feminism means aiming and establishing equal rights for women, as well as movement that advocates gender equality for women and rights and interests. So, as in the story, Lynel, which is Awio's wife, is one of the reasons why feminist criticism is related to the story. Because her husband is marrying another woman because she was unable to bear children for him. And one of the examples determined or identified by feminists is the imposition of a male model of the sexual response cycle of a woman.
So after I read the story, I think the story is related with some feminist criticism. I felt bad for Lynel because after all, she did her best to give Awio, her husband, what he want, but it's not enough. She was a good wife. She did house chores perfectly, and she also prayed and sacrificed to just save their relationship. But just because of her incapability to carry a child, all her good and ideal qualities as a woman were set aside. And that's why I think the story is related with feminist criticism. Although it's written in their law, it is not acceptable to hurt a woman with her incapacity. This story proves that women are still behind men, and how the law give them restriction to freedom.
This is the historical about the wedding dance. The author Amador Daguio was born in Ilocos Norte, but he grew up in Lubuguan, a place in a mountain province. This could be the main reason why he wrote the story The Wedding Dance, is because he could be exposed to the tribal tradition of the native people in mountain province, and it is a story between two people belonging in one of the ethnic group in the Philippines.
Talking about social criticism, the story Wedding Dance more specifically shows how personal and interests are defeated by culture. Lynel's action and words make the readers feel pity for her and for those whose deep attachment to their tradition makes them a prisoner of it. There is much sympathy in the character of Lynel. Daguio made sure to point out the prevailing power of culture, that its superiority dominated nature. What was it that made a man wish for a child? What was it? Is it in life, in the work of the field, in the planting and harvest, in the silence of the night, in the communing of husband and wife, in the whole life of the tribe itself that made a man wish for the laughter and speech of a child? Why did the unwritten law demand anyway, that a man to be a man must have a child to come after him? Dagu illustrated the possible ill effect and the influence of a tradition. He was able to steer the hearts of his readers on the unfortunate situation of alumni brought about their prevailing culture. Such portrayals show how culture will always find its way to triumph, and how it maintained beliefs and traditions that evolved in the society.
The story Wedding Dance demonstrates how civilization defeats genuine love and interest. Lumnai's acts and words make readers feel sorry for her and those whose great connection to their culture has made them a prisoner of it. Lumnai's character is filled with compassion. Daguio made a point of emphasizing the dominance of society over nature. And Daguio showed the potentially negative impact of a tradition's influence. He was able to move his readers' emotion by describing the tragic situation of Lumnais as a result of their dominant culture. Such depictions demonstrated how culture will always find a way to win, as well as how it maintained values and customs that evolved throughout the society.
For me, the story Wedding Dance is neo-Marxist criticism because it is all about social assumption towards men and how such point of view impacts an individual choice throughout everyday life. It additionally portrays the misfortune innate in social practices. The contention in the story is among men and culture.
Hi guys, my name is Steven Chu. I am here to discuss the wedding dance, which I'm going to go with psychological approach. The psychological approach of the wedding dance is the unconscious mind of the people is one of the significant factors that determine the motivation of the principal and the actions of every characters, such as pleasure, reality, and morality. Their actions were driven by either id, ego, or superego. For example, Awio's decision to remarry for the obligation was influenced by his superego, for he considered righteousness in his act. Moreover, Lumnai killed one of the pigs to offer to Kabunyan without Awio's consent because of her desire to have a child, which is dominated by id. Also, the scenes show that they also have repressed emotions such as jealousy, hatred, depression, and love. The Wedding Dance by Amador Daguio showed us the undeniable fact that not every love story ends with a happy ending. That's all, thanks.